Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the Hero Maverick 440, which is basically the Harley Davidson X440 but from Naptol. Just kidding. This is a more affordable version of the X440 because Hero is obviously giving it a more attractive price point by removing a few features as well. So this bike is actually priced at rupees 2.81 lakhs for this particular variant. The base variant is priced around rupees 2.52 lakhs, so it's cheaper by 55,000 to 58,000 when compared to the Harley Davidson X440. For that, what have they removed? They've actually removed USD forks. Yeah, upside down forks are not here. It gets regular telescopic forks, which is funny because the Extreme 160R also gets USD forks. You get hazard lights here. Almost everything is LED. The headlight is actually getting the auto function, so there's no button to turn it on. I'm just going to use the flasher right now to show you the light. Meanwhile, the front tire is also smaller here in terms of size, so it's like a 17-incher here. The Harley Davidson actually gets an 18-incher, 110, 70, 17 is the size of this tire. Meanwhile, it says dual channel ABS right there, and the size of the disc is 320 mm. This engine is similar, however, it is reduced in terms of torque output. This one is an air and oil cooled motor. There is the horn. Is this functional? No, it is not functional at all. So dummy bit there, fit finish could be better. A lot of exposed bits right there. Yeah, that is something which could have been better because this is Hero's flagship motorcycle. The design looks more or less the same as the X440. However, certain changes have happened in terms of the ground clearance and the seat height. So the ground clearance has increased by 5 mm. This is 175 mm. The X440 has a ground clearance of 170 mm, which is good. So better cornering clearance. Meanwhile, the seat height is actually reduced by 2 mm. So 803 mm is the seat height. Meanwhile, the Harley Davidson has a seat height of 805 mm. The motorcycle looks good in this black color. It's available in 3 variants. The base variant actually gets wire spoke wheels. The mid variant gets alloy wheels, and this being the top variant actually gets machine finishing on the alloy wheels. So yeah, a little bit of that along with machine finishing on the engine cooling fins, and it also gets ketchup because it actually says sauce. No, that is actually for the connected bike bit. So yes, it has an eSIM as well. Now it gets dual shocks here. This is a Pirelli frame. And the seat is decently comfortable, but it says 12 number here. I don't know why. Grab rail is actually good to hold on to. Has this exposed bits. What is this? Is a Defender of motorcycles or what? Hero badging right there. Tail light is again LED hazards right there. Again, you can see the machine finishing there. 150, 60, 17 is the size of the rear tires. The exhaust looks a bit ugly. I'm not a big fan of it. That could have been done slightly better. What is this exposed thing? Is it for water to drop? Probably. I don't know. I've never seen that on a motorcycle earlier, or maybe I'm just like turned a blind eye to such things. Says X-Torque here in the center. 13.5 liter fuel tank. Maverick 440 written there. Fit finish is decent, but for Hero's flagship motorcycle, fit finish could be a lot better. You get a sari guard there, and of course you get nothing here, just the Hero logo because it's automatic headlight. This is for the pass light, this is for the indicator, this is the horn which is long. You get a USB-A charging socket here, and this is the engine start button. This is for the hazard lights, and this is for SOS, which is basically for the e-call function. And this cluster has been changed because this one does not get the TFT display. Instead, it gets the LCD one to save cost, obviously. So I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm going to turn it on. There's this whole full swipe up thingy, and then I'm going to turn it on, and there it turns on to, I meant to say it turns on to a lot of vibration when you rev the motor. Side stand indicator there, and it has got multiple information right there. I can change it. There are twin trip meters. It also tells me what is the real-time fuel efficiency. That is the distance to empty, and that's about it. Odometer says 79 kilometers. So this is a new bike. We're going to be running in it today. Yeah, that's about it. Not much to talk about. Mirrors give you a decent view of what's behind. Yeah, clutch seems light enough. Anyways, let's start riding this Asli ID se Harley Davidson X440. Let's go.
Alright, let's start riding, which means turn on the motorcycle. There it does the full swipe up thingy, and it starts with some amount of like sound. You know something has turned on, and straight away let's start riding this motorcycle. The road is wet right now. The bike is also a bit wet, so I'm kind of slipping on the foot pegs, which is kind of funny. Anyways, the motorcycle actually doesn't feel its weight. This motorcycle is 187 kgs, 3.5 kgs more when compared to the Harley Davidson X440. So I don't know where that weight has come from, but you don't really feel that weight much. But what you feel is the fact that Hero has actually gone ahead and reduced the torque output from this motorcycle. I don't know why, what was the need and why did they do that, but they went ahead and reduced the torque output by 2 Newton meters. So the same 440cc single cylinder air cooled engine is producing 27 horsepower, the same as the X440. However, torque output is down to 36 Newton meters. Now the ride is actually good. It's on the softer side. You do feel a bit of a jolt over bad bumps, but for the most part nothing to complain about because yes, this is a smooth motorcycle to ride. Yeah, the engine is nice as long as you don't rev it much, because once you rev it past 4000 rpm the vibes start, and the vibes can be felt on the foot pegs, on the handlebar, on the seat, almost everywhere you can feel the vibes. So that's a bit of an issue, but otherwise the engine is quite smooth lower down. In fact, the engine is quite grunty as well lower down the rev range, so it's a very torquey motor, has good amount of punch lower down. Mid range is also actually very nice, so you have to just ride the torque wave, and that's something you would enjoy. Ground clearance is decent enough, so you can actually go through the worst of speed breakers without having to worry at all. And making a quick overtake is fine in the city because of the torque, but out on the highway, yes, you need more grunt, because past 100 kilometers per hour the struggle starts and the vibes become very unbearable, so you really can't push it much. Now this bike gets Bluetooth connectivity. I think Bluetooth is available in all the variants, which is a good thing, and then the bike actually feels quite small to me somehow, which is a bit weird considering at this price you wouldn't want a small feeling motorcycle. And then as soon as I pull it hard, yeah, the engine gets very vibey. It feels like the engine will blow up. 76 kilometers per hour in second gear. In fact, it feels very uneasy near the red line, so it's not a high revving motor as such. There is a tachometer, but it's so small now, it being there or not being there makes no difference at all, because I really can't feel that the tachometer is there. That is a bit of an issue, and now the vibes are in plenty, so you're just going to upshift. It's a 6-speed gearbox. It's more composed in the higher gear, which is 6th gear. Feels a bit better there in a higher gear. So 6th gear is actually where you should ride when you're trying to cruise along. It has a slipper clutch as well, so when you compare it to the X440, you realize that the X440 is definitely a better motorcycle. But why pay that extra 50,000? Just get this one, because at the end of the day, Hero sales and service network is also much bigger. So I'm just going to downshift here. We're going to come into 3rd gear and we're going to try to make some quick overtakes. I can't see much because my visor is full of water right now. Yeah, it is raining on and off, but that doesn't stop me from giving this motorcycle the beans. There's obviously a lot of wind blast at high speeds. Thankfully this bike does not do high speeds. 135 kilometers per hour is the top speed which it will do. Past 110 kilometers per hour, the struggle is absolutely real, so you wouldn't really want to push it that hard, because then it's pointless now. How is this dry here? How do the clouds do partiality thing now? We will not rain beyond this point. That is the line which we have to stop raining. That's kind of funny. Brakes are decent. Yeah, the brakes would be better, but they get the job done, so I'm not going to complain much about the brakes, because at the end of the day the bike doesn't go as fast that you will be like, "Arey, yeah, brakes could have been better." Brakes are fine. Okay, if I have to filter through traffic here, is it easy? Yeah, it doesn't feel its weight. That's a good thing. Feels light, nimble and agile, which is again a very good thing. Yeah, it's actually smooth in this regard. So again, I don't like the cluster here. I like the one on the Harley because it's not very visible. It's not a color one. Nah, they've gone cheap right there. No false neutrals. Now it's the time to launch this motorcycle. Before that, let me rev. Oh my god, I get a nice massage into 1st gear and off we go. 1st gear, 50 of false neutral. Into 2nd, 76. We come into 3rd. Time to duck down a bit. Oh, it does 100, which means it doesn't do real 100 kilometers per hour because of the speedo error. They could have get it a bit tall in 3rd gear, and now in 4th it will do 120 kilometers per hour. But I have realized one thing, that the mirrors now, they are not that good. They don't give you a good view of what's around you, and the wind blast is way too much. So this bike is not meant to be rated at high speeds. This bike is comfortable enough in the city. Occasional highway runs is fine as well. But if you really are looking, okay, 130 I hit, that is nice. If you're looking to really go about like grand touring, there are better options at this price point. Not at this price point, but around this price point. And we are in neutral. Yippee! I thought it was going to be another false neutral there. Are you noticing the thump of this bike? So yeah, it has a sort of a thump there. We get into first time to take a U-turn right now, and I actually find it more maneuverable when compared to the Harley, only because it gets a 17-inch front instead of an 18-inch, so that makes it slightly better there. And okay, visor down. Oh yeah, top end is absolutely garbage here, not meant for the top end. Into first gear, time to launch it, and off we go. Clutchless shifts do happen here. Yeah, near the red line only. Too much wind blast, way too much wind blast. I wish the tires were better in terms of grip, but the handlebar is nice and wide, so it gives you a good maneuverability as well. So guys, this is my video of the Hero Maverick 440. It's just the X440 from Harley Davidson, but this one is from Hero actually, and it is priced very attractively, and that is the USP of this motorcycle. But still, if you have the budget, get the bragging rights with the Harley Davidson X440, although I'm not by either of these bikes, and I think we should launch once again. Imagine somebody is riding a microwave on two wheels with that revolt nonsense. Which bike has more thump, tell me? $2,30,000. And off we go! Woo! Sorry, Royal Enfield, you can never match up to the performance, at least the classic 350 can't, to the performance of newer motorcycles, because that bike is slow as but this bike is also not fast, so I can't really say I have any bragging rights there. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, जो देना है तो पेप्सी, कोला, सैंटा फी, सॉरी फैंटा वैंटा जो देना है, मन में तो गाड़ियाँ चलती ना, सैंटा फी बोला था मैं. बाय. बारिश है यहाँ पे यार, क्या